Hi, I'm Colton with Porsche Center Calgary, and I'm here today with another new piece of pre-owned inventory. This one is a beautiful one. It's the 2020 911 Carrera, and yeah, really looks awesome. For 2020, if you don't know, it was a full redesign of the car, the internal designation 992, and that meant, yeah, that virtually everything is different from what it was in 2019. The only panel that carried over is the glass roof, if it was optioned, which it was on this one, and I'll dive into that a little bit more, but just to briefly talk a little bit about 992 in general first. A whole lot higher tech than the car previously, a lot more content available that wasn't before, larger screen, a little bit more modern styling, of course, more horsepower as well, this one being the standard Carrera. It has a twin-turbo 3-liter flat six, making 378 horsepower. Might not sound like a huge number nowadays, but the car uses it very effectively. It's an all-new 8-speed PDK dual-clutch transmission in the car as well. As with all of our cars, don't judge them based on the horsepower number. Look at the performance figures, and even those ones, if you look at the ones Porsche publishes, they tend to underrate them. The performance is outstanding. I drove this one a little bit myself. And I had the 2017, the previous generation, with the standard engine as well. I liked the old car, it was great. I'd happily buy another one, but you can definitely feel a meaningful upgrade in terms of just the power and acceleration and all of that in the 2020. But let's talk about this one in particular a little bit. So it has what some of us refer to as kind of a stormtrooper color scheme, which I think works really well. All black is super popular. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think something gets lost when you don't have any contrast. And obviously this black-white gives you maximum contrast and just looks awesome. So the color on the outside is the standard white, one of, if not the most popular color with our brand. These wheels are the Carrera S wheel, 20 inches up front, 21 inches in the rear, another change they made for the 992. And then this one, the standard wheel would have been silver, switched it to the satin black to go with this kind of black and white theme. As well, around the back, the model designation was painted in gloss black, so it'll say Porsche and then the 911 Carrera part, gloss black as well. Back there you'll see it has the sport exhaust, so the two big oval pipes, and those ones were optioned as well to be black, again carrying over the theme. Super well executed. I think it looks awesome. I mentioned the glass sunroof too. When you get the glass roof, it also becomes black, so just more of that black and white theme. This car too, as often happens with the pre-owned cars, you get kind of some added value from the last guy in that it has a full paint protection film over the full front of the car, so the full hood, front fenders, front bumper, side mirrors as well. On this one, the A-pillars are done here, and kind of this eyebrow across the top, all of that's wrapped in paint protection film, so as a result, the paint looks very, very good. The headlights too, I should mention, are LEDs, which they all are as of 2020, but they are also, they have the PDLS, or Porsche Dynamic Lighting System, so they'll turn with the steering wheel. They'll look further down the road as you speed up. Very, very cool. Nice to have if you're doing some nighttime driving with the car. Moving now to the inside, it has a black interior, as you'd expect with the theme they're going for, but some nice options in there. This was one of the early 992 models that we got, and in the first bit of production, they didn't have a premium package or any kind of options lumped in. You had to select everything individually, but all the important stuff is here. The Sport Plus seat, which I really like, a little bit more heavily bolstered than the standard seat, gives you a little more shoulder support. They also put the Porsche crests embossed in the headrest, subtle touch, but I always really like to see that. As well, the GT Sport steering wheel, which I have seen a few people overlooking lately, and I think, frankly, I think it's a must. I think it really changes the, it's the steering wheel, of course, that you're interacting with 100% of the time that you're in the car. So to me, that is absolutely somewhere you should spend the money and upgrade it. Now, if you don't prefer the feel of it, that's fine. I suppose you wouldn't have to, but I much prefer it. You have kind of the bulges at 10 and 2, the thumb pads, as Porsche calls them. I like those better. I like the look of it. It's a little bit sportier, and it's an inexpensive option, so I definitely recommend it. Nice to see it here. And it's heated as well, and multifunction, so you have all the buttons on there. You can control the multiple screens that are in the car using the steering wheel, so I love to see that. As well, on the steering wheel, you notice it has the drive mode selector. There's a little kind of knob on the lower portion of the wheel that enables you to switch through the different drive modes. So all the cars will have a sport mode no matter what. When you go to the Sport Chrono package, that gives you a Sport Plus mode, as well as individual. Wet mode actually was also added for for the 2020, which is a really cool thing if you live in a rainy climate. Very, very neat, and a mode you don't see in any other manufacturers really, so pretty cool stuff. You also get launch control with that, so you can maximize those acceleration runs, or if you're racing somebody off the lights. And the sport response, so inside that dial there's a button you can press. It's called the sport response button, and when you press it you get a 20-second countdown pops up on your screen, and for those 20 seconds you have kind of maximum power. It doesn't give you more power, but it gives you immediate access to it. It's like a push to pass button. And that timer actually isn't really all that important, because you can press it over and over and over again. They give you the 20 seconds, but you could continue to press it again and again if you wanted to. But the idea is it's kind of for short bursts, and it's super effective. Really fun to use. Some other stuff in there, the Bose sound system, pretty meaningful upgrade there. Always like to see that on the used cars. What am I missing here? Of course, the comfort access. So these door handles work a little bit differently now. You can see they're flush with the body. When you approach the car with the key, they'll kind of come out to greet you. They'll come up, get in the car that way, and then just turn the ignition switch. You don't have to plug the key into the dash anymore, the way that you did on some of the 991 generation 911s. Seat ventilation, I don't know if I pointed out, that's here too. And then carrying over some of the exterior color into the inside, they have the rev counter in white. And I really like that change for 992 as well. It used to be when you change your gauges, it changed a lot of them, right? And it was kind of a lot of color, and it sometimes felt a little bit too much. More people would just change the sport chrono clock because it was just a little bit more subtle. Now with the 992, you do just the rev counter, get that really cool kind of ring of color in the center, or I guess not color in this case, and that it's white, but that bit of contrast inside looks really cool. I think just kind of a more elegant version than we had in the previous car. So I think that pretty well sums up all of the equipment in this guy, but I should mention as well, right now it has about 10,500 kilometers on it, and it is a Porsche approved certified pre-owned vehicle. So it came in, went through that inspection, and it has to be brought to a very high standard. This one we didn't have to do a whole lot to. Maintenance and everything was already up to date. Cosmetically it looked very good. I think we replaced the gear lever. There was some damage on that, so we did that. And of course put on the extra warranty that you get as part of that Porsche approved program. So this one has 6 years of warranty from the original in-service date, rather than the 4 years you would get buying a brand new car, and unlimited kilometers rather than the 80,000. So in-service date on this one was July 7th of 2020. So you'll have full comprehensive Porsche warranty until July 7th of 2026, no matter how many kilometers you put on the car. So really great value. And a cool example, really neat looking car, quite unique, and really shows what you can do with our cars, right? You don't just buy a 911, you build a 911 and make it a really unique kind of one of one thing, which this definitely is. So when we're done here shooting the video, it will be moved upstairs. It'll be in our showroom. If you like the video, if you're intrigued by the car, want to come check it out, please do. You're welcome to come and take a closer look at it. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.